game, whatever it was they call it, after the Elimination Chamber last night with Renee Young and that guy on ESPN Radio and Hot 97, which he's not funny. But anyway, they were asking him about, where do you go from here, John? This and that, blah, 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 blah. And Cena, again, he plays it perfectly, dejected, playing the dejected veteran like, hey, I don't have a spot. I don't have a dance partner for WrestleMania. I'm John Cena, and I don't have a dance partner for WrestleMania. So I'm watching that last night, because I watched it late, being in the studios, working. So I caught it, not live because I was traveling to the station, and I got in around 11 o'clock, so it was over already. I watched it on the replay around midnight. And I'm watching everything, also the whole thing, and I'm watching some of the post stuff, and I saw seeing this thing. And I'm sitting there going, 100% he's fighting The Undertaker. 100%. And I know people don't want to see it, but they've never... And Cena brought this up in the promo tonight. As big of stars they are, and they've had the matches. Cena and Taker did fight when Cena first came up. When Taker was still the American Badass. But they've never fought on WrestleMania. You gotta figure, Taker has been a huge... He's been with the WWE since 1990. He's been a huge part. And you can look at him really as one of the faces. I mean, he's the only guy who's been wrestling steady. It's been wrestling at all since 1990 in the company. And then you have John Cena, who has just taken it to another level. And he's the modern day Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin in terms of drawing power and popularity. I know he has the mixed reactions, but Cena is a box office attraction. And he's a big player. So he cuts this promo tonight and he issues a challenge to The Undertaker. I'm like, okay, here we go, book it, Cena Taker. Then he goes, oh, well, it's not going to happen. I've been told it's not going to happen, so I have to go to SmackDown. And I'm sitting there going, what? So what's happening here, folks, is one of two things. One, he just was told to say that by Vince to shut everyone the fuck up, because people are... That has been a hot rumor. That it will be Cena and Taker, because what else is Cena going to do? And really, if Taker will come back and wrestle for WrestleMania, who is he going to wrestle? There's really not a lot of options out there. I mean, I would say if he was undefeated, if he was still undefeated, I'm definitely booking Braun Strowman in him. If he wanted to come back this year and he was still undefeated, I'm booking him and Braun. And then Braun ends the streak and puts Braun over more. But obviously, he can't do that. Braun Strowman handed Taker his third loss at WrestleMania. Oh, okay. It's nothing that is major. So he does that. So that's one thing. That he was just told to say it and kind of tease the crowd and tease the audience. Two, that he's going to go to SmackDown and he'll settle for something at Fastlane or whatever. He'll get in a match with someone in SmackDown at Fastlane, and then Taker will come out of Fastlane and he'll challenge him. Or actually three. Or there's just, he settles for some low rate, mid-card thing that he did last year. But Cena and Taker, I would love to see Sting and Taker a couple of years ago, and people said, well, I don't want to see that. I would have saw that 10 years ago, not now. And they're saying the same with Cena and Taker. I would have saw that 5 years ago, not now. Guys, it's not going to be a technical, scientific wrestling match. Let's face it, Cena and Taker were never really scientific, technical wrestlers. Taker was a brawler his whole life. I mean, Cena can work a match. Taker, it's not like Taker couldn't wrestle, but Taker was more of a brawler. You have these two veterans go in and just fucking brawl, beat the shit out of each other, and put on a great show. And then you have the whole career versus career. I think it'd be great. But the fact that he mentioned Undertaker leads me to believe, I'm leaning towards the fact that it will be Undertaker and there'll be a whole thing swerve, and out of nowhere Taker will just come out and he'll accept the challenge. But they have to move on it quick. So unless he comes out on SmackDown, or he comes, like, again, Cena goes to Fastlane or whatever, he's fighting somebody and Taker comes out. But they have to move on this quickly. Or, like I said, they just said it just to shut people up, because that has been the rumor. But we shall see, folks. We shall see. Again, maybe, I would say maybe Strowman and Cena, and Strowman beats him cleanly in a singles match. But he says he's going to SmackDown. And that's another thing. What is Braun doing? Very interesting. You know, usually you have kind of a sense of what you're going to get for WrestleMania after these type of pay-per-views. I figured after Elimination Chamber, a couple of things. A, we're seeing Alexa Bliss and Asuka. We're seeing Roman and Brock. We know that we're seeing, this is before that, we know that we're seeing Styles and Nakamura. And we know for a fact it's going to be Rousey and probably Angle against Triple H and Stephanie, which I'm all for it. I just don't want to see Kurt Angle wrestle. I don't really want to see Kurt Angle on camera anymore. It's really embarrassing. The guy can't speak. He just looks out of it. He's a legend, but you got to get him off TV. But there's still a lot of things. After tonight, we do know about the IC title. Most likely it's going to be Miz versus Rollins versus Balor in a triple threat match. But there's still a lot of people on the roster that don't have a dance partner for WrestleMania. And time's a ticking. And yeah, Braun Strowman and John Cena and guys like that, Kevin Owens, who don't have anything going for WrestleMania. So they got to act, and they got to act now. Because time's running out.